It's that time of the week. You guys know what's up. We are looking at your Dynasty football trades.
Come on,
Go
baby.
ahead and do us a favor. Drop a like to show some love. Subscribe if you like Dynasty content. And why don't you go ahead and just comment a trade that you've made below in the comments. There's going to be some people in the community who will give you feedback, I'm sure. But hey, do you want your trades on this weekly show? It's actually super simple. Like this time next week, we could be looking at your trades.
That's right.
All you need to do is sign up with our code LAND, L-A-N-D, at flockfantasy.com/land. Once you sign up to that Mother Flocker tier, you will unlock the Dynasty Trades text channel, and we'll be looking at your trades here in the next video. So we've got, I think, 11, 12 trades to look at today from the community.
Bunch of trades, yep.
Shout out to everyone who's supporting us over there. The first one is from Styles Clash 619. What's up, Styles? 12 team Superflex PPR start 9. I mean, not much to say here all day. Other notable wide receivers are Olave, Higgins, Quentin Johnson, and Godwin. So he gets Hollywood Brown, sends away Rashee Rice in a second in 2025. I've been telling you guys to buy Hollywood Brown. I think he's just ridiculously cheap this offseason. And this is an example of, Styles doing just that.
Yeah. Yeah, great trade, and we don't have to really think about it too much. That we would both go Hollywood there.
Yeah, same. Proven production, and you're only giving up really a second-round pick for the swap.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, C? Name is C. Yeah, just C. He supports both us and Mason on Flock. He says, not my trade, just in one of my leagues. Curious on the thoughts. 12-team Superflex. So one side gets Devontae Adams, Jared Goff, Dalton Kincaid, and a 2024 fourth-round pick. The other side gets Tyreek Hill and a 2024 first rounder.
I mean, for me personally, I'm taking the Adams, Goff, Kincaid side. I'm not sure about you.
Okay.
I mean, I personally believe that Jared Goff is worth a first-round pick, probably a late first-round pick, whether that's in 2023 if you haven't done your drafts or in 2024. Now, is that 2024 going to be a top 5 pick or a second half of the draft? I know Devontae Adams, there's a lot of question marks right now, but he's still also worth the first. Dalton Kincaid, you got 3 first-round picks right here in players versus Tyreek Hill, who could potentially equate to 2, depending on how people feel, or just be one first-round pick and a 2024 first, if that makes any sense. But yeah,
I think
I'm
the
going
first thing I would say is that it's an even trade. So because I know he was trying to he's submitting it from his league. And if you guys ever do want us to look at trades from a league, we'd be happy to do that. But, it looks even to me. That's the first thing I'll say. I think there is a tier up from Devontae Adams to Tyreek Hill. I know there's not a huge gap in their age, but as far as projecting their value for the next 2 years, I feel like it's very easy to do that with Tyreek and Tua versus Adams and Jimmy G. We don't know what's happening there.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and Dalton Kincaid, I think you can justify paying a first-round pick for them. I feel better about doing it for Goff because I just don't want to pay for a rookie tight end, premium for him. So again, I think it's relatively even value. What I would say is the way that the Goff side of this trade loses is if that 2024 first is top 3. Top 3, you're absolutely, I would say even maybe top 4, you're losing this deal. So that's the caveat here. If that's a late first, I feel much better about it, and I think you got great value on the Adams side.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Ignite? 10-team Superflex start 9 tight end premium. I'm receiving the bottom. I am the reigning champ and a heavy contender going into 24. The guy I'm trading with has a really good team and could have easily contended, but he also really likes the 24 class. So not only do I get a key piece here, but I'm also eliminating some of the competition, hopefully. So he sends away Mingo, Burks in a third. Gets back Saquon Barkley in a second-round pick.
Okay.
Wow. What are you thinking?
Look, honestly, I would say right now, to me, it feels like an even trade. I'm more interested on the context of your team. I'm not as high on Treylon Burks as Zach, but I would say maybe I might be higher than in Jonathan Mingo than you. I think that's what's intriguing right here. I think both Mingo and Burks have to hit in the long run for Saquon Barkley to not really, for this trade to really win. And we won't know that for a couple years. I feel confident in Saquon. I think that's why I would go Saquon, but we won't know who truly wins this trade. I would even say for 2 years. That's how I'm seeing this trade right now.
I agree that you let go of some upside with Mingo and Burks, and I love Burks. And you're not going to find anyone who's been talking more about Burks than myself on Dynasty the last year. But I think given the context that he's a competing team and he's taking away Saquon Barkley from another competing team, I think it makes a lot of sense for him. And I think you've done a really good job here of, almost trying to secure yourself another championship. But the way I look at it is, I personally would say Saquon and Burks are similarly valued, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me there. That's completely fine. I'm much higher on Treylon Burks than your average Dynasty analyst. I have him, wide receivers 16, 17 in my rankings. I'm not sure. Most people have him outside the top 24. So I understand why some people would disagree with me. Now, if I had Saquon Barkley and I was trading for Burks, I know that I could probably get Burks and a second for Barkley, for example, right? So just with all that context being said, I do love Treylon Burks, but I think given that he's contending, and given that we have no idea what Jonathan Mingo will be, I feel very confident in what Burks will be. We have no idea what Mingo will be. He's still got the pick swap from a third to a second. I think he's done a good job here for sure of securing Saquon Barkley on a contending team.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and that second really now. I was so focused on Saquon and Burks and Mingo that I didn't realize it was a second and a third swap, which is awesome. So that definitely pushes it over the edge there, because if those guys don't hit and Saquon obviously maybe falls off in the next couple of years, at least you got a second round pick out of Mingo, and by that time you're going to know if he is the guy. Essentially. So
yeah, I mean, there's easily a pathway here in a year from now where you regret this if Burks becomes a player that I think he can be, and Saquon holds out, or Saquon gets injured, then you instantly regret this deal. But you do take out some competition if Saquon is even just what he was last year. You know.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so Lazy Bones is the next trade here. He says, meant to submit this one a couple weeks ago when it went down golf league, so you already know what it is. So it looks like Lazy Bones gets Clyde and Kenny Pickett. He sends away Mac Jones in a second. And the famous goat rings is in this deal that he made a trade with.
It's a classic.
So I would say, just personally, if the Patriots don't add DeAndre Hopkins, I think you win this deal. However, if the Patriots do add DeAndre Hopkins on, let's say, a 2-year deal, I think that there's more value in downgrading from Kenny to Mac and getting the second than there is upgrading and losing the second and adding Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I hope that makes sense. So, again, you'll find out soon if you win this trade, because if they don't add DeAndre Hopkins, if it's still Juju as the wide receiver 1 on this team, then you won this trade with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, for me, it's the Kenny Pickett side. I think even if DeAndre Hopkins does go to New England with Mac Jones, I don't see that significantly rising his value or his stock where people are going to want run to Mac Jones. At least that's how I'm viewing it. It definitely will rise, but I don't think it's going to rise. He is QB 27 right now at the moment. Maybe he breaks 23, right? 24. I don't see him getting past or into the teens or early 20s, like 21 to 23 there range. So I like Kenny Pickett. One thing I don't like about this trade is that second, but I guess that's probably what you had to give up. I mean, if you really think about it, it's either Kenny Pickett. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is just a throw-in piece for you to get Kenny Pickett. I'm assuming that's how you're seeing it. That's how I'm seeing it.
I think that's you have to give something. It's not like Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett are equally valued, and that's
exactly.
I think that's what's highlighted here. But I will just say, to be fair to Mac Jones, and I've said this for quite some time, who the hell has he had to throw the ball to?
Yeah,
it's so difficult to evaluate this guy as a fantasy quarterback when Jacoby Brissett's been his number 1 weapon. So I definitely hear you, but Jacoby Myers, my bad. Okay, the infamous 7 GOAT rings has a little string of trades, and I know a lot of people on this video series comment about 7 GOAT rings, that he's in here too much. What I say is the dude's just getting the most value out of the support that he's giving us. And if you guys want to see more of your trades, sign up. Go ahead and sign up and get your trades in the show. But his first trade here, 10 team full PPR, start 11 best ball, just a little one-on-one with some big dogs. So he gets Anthony Richardson in the third. He sends Fields. As much as I love Richardson, I want the Fields side of this deal.
Exactly. Keep it simple. I would have kept Justin Fields personally.
Yeah. The next one, he says, got in touch with Krogan 4 today for some fun. 12-team full PPR 2 quarterback. The first is projected late and needed that third quarterback. Best available for as Purdy. Just hope and pray it works out. I now have Burrow, Dak, Zach, Darnold, Malik Hooker. Monty adds to Henry, Taylor, Hall, Gibson, Carter, Penny, Swift, Damian. So he gets David Montgomery and Brock Purdy, sends away Isaiah Likely and a first-round pick. Here's what I'll say. If that's a late first and Purdy actually ends up being the starter the entire year, then I don't think this is an awful trade.
Right.
But if Trey Lance starts the year, then I think you will definitely regret this trade.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was leaning. I mean, I've been saying all offseason, if you have Brock Purdy or Trey Lance or just have one of them, you need to acquire the pair. You need to somehow get both of them, unless you're just going to say, you know what, I need to get rid of them. And in this case, you acquire Brock Purdy but don't have Trey Lance. In reality,
Darnold, but yeah, you still need Lance.
In reality, you're not even going to start him because you have Burrow and Dak Prescott. So in my eyes, what was the point of giving up the first if you could have just had that first and then maybe use that 24 first to get an Etienne, to get a Ramondre or whoever, Miles Sanders, right? I mean, that's where I would have gone. So personally, I don't like the trade, but I agree with Zach. If Brock Purdy is the starter this year and it works out that way, then you could win this trade, and you will win this trade.
Yeah, another trade we have from him: 12-team full PPR, Superflex start 11. That second is most valued and is likely to 12. So it looks like he gets Ryan Tannehill, Allen Robinson, Zeke, and sends away Huntley in a second. And I guess overall, I'm fine with this. If that's actually the 212, who knows how long Tannehill is a starter, but in a 2-quarterback league, this is Superflex. In a Superflex league, I'm not really that excited about Tannehill, but
Agreed.
Let's be honest, if that truly is the 212, then this is an even deal. If it's not, and that's the 206, then I think you lost the deal.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm assuming this is all the same team. So once again,
No, he said Superflex.
Okay. So sorry, this is a different team.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a couple more 10-team full PPR start 11 tight end premium with Barkley. Latest news. It does have me worried. This is the follow-up, trading away AJ Brown, and that second I didn't accrue as much but I am happier with this return. Okay, so he gets Hollywood Brown, Ken Walker, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, and Marvin Mims. Sends away Russell Wilson, Amari Cooper, Saquon Barkley, and a third. How are you viewing this one? I know you're higher on Ken Walker than myself.
Yeah, I actually am higher on Ken Walker, but I think Amari Cooper is still of value, a tremendous value here. And I just think I would rather have the Krogan side right now. Once again, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, these aren't guys that are going to push the needle for me. I'm assuming you do have 2 quarterbacks in this league already where you're probably not even going to start Mac Jones. And it's good to have the pair because once again, DeAndre Hopkins does come, he rises up a little bit, you can sell him for whatever. But I think the way I see this, I'd rather have Russell Wilson long term. I believe in the bounce back here with Sean Payton. I'd rather have Saquon Barkley right now over Kenneth Walker. I know the reports are scary, but I'm hoping and believing that he is going to be okay with the Giants. But Amari Cooper and Hollywood Brown, I think that's the interesting one because you have the youth with Hollywood Brown. But Hollywood Brown probably won't be this guy this year. But Amari probably will be with Deshaun Watson. And we need to know the timeline with, Kyler Murray. We just don't know. I'm personally going to go with the Russell Wilson Saquon side.
I will say this. If someone offered me Hollywood for Amari, unless I'm competing, I'm doing it.
Agreed.
So I do like that swap. And then the way I look at it is Saquon, Ken Walker. I think they're, in most people's eyes, relatively equally valued in Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it comes down to Marvin Mims, Mac Jones, or Russell Wilson. So this trade could flop for you if Russell Wilson recovers his form under Sean Payton, but there's also a possibility that Russell Wilson's just cooked. Like, we don't think that's the case.
I would also,
but there is a possibility he's just cooked, and that's not the quarterback of the future. Sean Payton, if anything, has been very open, saying, I mean, it's not about Russell Wilson here. We can move on from him if we need to. That's what he's said. I don't think it's possible logistically, money-wise, but he has said that. But yeah, I think context is important here.
I would say this. Are we more comfortable with Saquon Barkley? Like, if Saquon Barkley is not holding out, are you more comfortable with Saquon Barkley or Kenneth Walker, who has Zach Charbonnet?
Saquon. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with Saquon.
I guess I'm asking the question to Seven Goats because, we don't know the outcome with Saquon, but it already feels like Kenneth Walker is going to lose at least 40% of his workload just because Zach Charbonnet is on this team. So do you want a guy that, if he does play the full season, he's going to get all the workload, or Kenneth Walker that you already know he's probably going to get maybe 60% of the work? At least we're projecting 60% of the workload. I think that's another question there. I would rather have Saquon long-term, even though I love Kenneth Walker. Sure.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Look, if you're competing, I think the bottom side is definitely more intriguing this year. Okay, we have a couple more. Full PPR. I own Najee, Bijan, so I wanted depth, and I also own Rashawn, so I'm hoping that this plays out with Herbert. So he gets Khalil Herbert, sends away Algier and Warren. And to me, I do love Rashawn. He has Rashawn Johnson. I'm fine with this deal. I'm not someone who personally feels like Tyler Algier is going to be I don't think he's a startable asset unless Bijan's injured, and Bijan will be there for 5 years now, assuming they pick up his 5th-year contract. So I don't really see much value in Algier personally. Warren is a name that I have brought as a buy low, but still, I think in this scenario, I would be fine to. I just feel like you're giving yourself higher upside, a higher chance of trade value and startable assets here with Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I just realized that he sent away Herbert.
Yeah, he sent away. He sent away.
I thought he got Herbert. I was finally going to be on his side here.
No, he sent away. I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. One thing I would say with Jaylen Warren, I like Jaylen Warren. Sorry, with Tyler Algier, is I wish that was like just a random third.
Yeah.
Rather than Tyler Algier, I'd rather take a random pick in whatever year than Algier, because I think his value is
Zach Evans or something.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. Rather than Tyler, because I just don't see a pathway, obviously, anymore with Bijan. But yeah, I agree with Jaylen Warren. So
yeah,
it's okay. It's a decent trade.
Yeah. All right, we have one more from him. 10-team full PPR, start 11, Superflex. Russ was my quarterback 4. I have Jackson, Watson, Aaron. Not sold on Devon in that offense to be a fantasy impact this year. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown. Okay, so let's have a look. He says nothing crazy but good depth. So he gets Keenan Allen, Desmond Ridder, and Zach Charbonnet, sends away Russell Wilson and Devon Achane. And as much as I love Devon Achane, I would do this deal. I still have Charbonnet ranked ahead of Achane in my rankings. I think he's a better running back in the NFL. He's a better prospect.
Agreed.
And there's more competition ahead of him. But I also think Keenan Allen is a huge value. And I think Ridder could be a really sneaky buy this offseason. With the offense that they built around him. So I think Goat Rings did really well in this deal particularly.
Yeah, completely agree. I love Desmond. I brought him in the video saying that you should keep him, stash him, because he's going to get the starting range here, and his offense is phenomenal. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. This offensive line is going to improve. He had a decent run in the second half of the season where he started the last 4 games. So I'm excited to see Desmond Ridder this year.
Yeah, and the last one from Sean. What is up, Sean?
Come on, Sean from New Zealand.
I'm so glad that Sean is in this chat utilizing the trade feature. We love Sean. Sean is an OG. Sean is in one of the first leagues we've ever made.
OG, triple OG, man. Come on.
Okay, so A.J. Brown, Javonte Williams on one side, and then Jamar Chase on the other. I love Javonte Williams. I hope he recovers, but I'm taking Jamar Chase 10 times out of 10 here.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, you have to pay a premium from Chase. If that 24, if that third was a first, are you taking that?
That definitely makes it more intriguing. Yeah.
I would be interested because, AJ Brown, I like, especially long term with the core. I mean, I love Jamar Chase without doubt. You know, I think the biggest caveat here would be if that third was a first, and you're really taking the risk there with Javonte Williams. I believe in the bounce back. It won't be this year, but I do believe he could bounce back the year after. So if his value continues to rise, you know, in the second half of the season, maybe he has some sort of J.K. Dobbins or Saquon type of comeback. Well, I guess more Saquon because J.K. we kind of saw a little bit later. But I would be interested in this BS. I am going Jamar Chase. Just wanted to throw that narrative out there.
Yeah. If that third was a first, I think it depends on where the first is still for me, because if you're getting that first from like the best team in the league and it's likely to be the 112, I still think I'm going Chase. But if that's from a team that's like kind of middle of the pack, 106 next year, then yeah, I probably would be more willing to pull the trigger there.
Yeah, makes sense.
But also it depends on how many starters are in this league, and we don't know that. But
true.
But yeah, I'd say overall, given the trade we've been given, I would go Chase.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, guys, that is it for today. Again, if you want your trades on the show, you know how to do that by now. Go ahead and sign up with our code LAND at flockfantasy.com. There's a pinned comment in the comment section. And sign up to that Mother Flocker tier. DM us on Discord, and we'll be looking at your trades. So hopefully you had a great day, and it's going to keep getting better. Drop a like, and we'll see you in the next video. All love. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.
It's so easy. Even your grandma could scan that QR code right there.